All right, beautiful people, welcome in, welcome in. We have some breaking news that I had to go live for you on this one. The gun controllers were just dealt a death blow by the Supreme Court coming in about 25 to 30 minutes ago. We're going to walk through this right now as you guys filter in. Give me the 5x5s, make sure the audio is good, the video is good, do the systems checks you need, because we are about to walk through something that is excellent for us, and you need to send this one out, like the video, and make sure you subscribe, because this is that freedom. All right, so as you guys get in here, we've got the first person facts over feelings. They are indeed first, so they get the trophy today. All right, people. See you guys trickling in here. Good, good, good. Yep. Love it. Southwest Michigan. Everyone's shouting off where they're from. Absolutely love it. I haven't even finished my coffee yet, and I'm excited. Beautiful people. This is why we come here. Oh, man. This is what I'm talking about. It's kind of a little sneaky ruling they threw in here this morning, but didn't get past us. We're going to cover it right now. This is awesome. This is awesome. All right. You love to see it. That's right, Obi Wolf, man. All right, so as you guys are filtering in here, I'm going to give it a second to get everyone in here, and then we're going to start. This, guys, this is going to be, you're going to enjoy this live stream, so make sure you send this one out. You are sharing it. You are liking it. You're doing all the things, because this is how we win. And of all places, the NRA got the victory. Isn't that weird? I know. It's odd. But SCOTUS has indeed struck again. Gun controller nightmare fuel issued. Oh, I can't wait for the reactions. It's going to be so much fun. All right, everyone getting in, get in. That is awesome. Welcome in, people. Athens, Georgia. I've spent many a time there. I grew up in Georgia. A Ric Flair. Woo! I like that a lot. All right, we are sitting around 730, 800, so we're rolling in. We get to about 1,000, I'll start hitting it. Guys, we are cruising. This is, man, early on, you guys are ready. Tony Mendez, NRA you say. NRA I indeed say, Tony. NRA I indeed say. Because this strikes right at the heart of the gun controllers' most recent tactics and strategies at the state level, particularly like New York, California. This, chef's kiss, baby. This is a good one. Welcome in, everybody. This is a great one. I love to see you in here. Only 7:15 a.m. here, said Alaskan Ballistics. I actually met Alaskan Ballistics at an event. That's pretty cool to see you in here, man. All right, 950. We are almost there. We're just going to get going because I'm just so excited. I'm going to be honest. I'm so excited. All right, so as usual, I will always be monitoring the chat when I'm not reading statements. I'm going to try to jump to super chats as much as I can. Anything you guys do, I will try to address. But right now, let me adjust all the screens. We got to get me out of the way, put me up here, and we've got to bring that juicy goodness, because this, oops, that's not the right one. That's the right one. Look at that. So there's your title. Supreme Court sides with NRA and free speech ruling that curbs government pressure campaigns. As you can see, this came out at 11:03, so just under an hour ago. Oh, this is going to be delicious. Thank you so much, Tony, for that super chat. I appreciate you. How are four simple words so hard to understand? Talking about shall not be infringed, of course, but I can't tell you that, but they can't seem to get it. But maybe the SCOTUS will help them. Let's dive in here, people. This is breaking. Oh, let me hear the comments. Spread this, send this, like this, share this, all the things. Here we go. The Supreme Court on Thursday morning unanimously, that's all 9 of them, including the lefties, backed the National Rifle Association in a First Amendment ruling that could make it harder for state regulators to pressure advocacy groups. All right, we're going to go through this letter or this article piece by piece, but understand this is stemming out of New York, okay, where they were basically using the state government level to pressure companies not to do business with the NRA and not to insure them and not to be seen with them because they are verboten. You know, then Letitia James came in and declared them a terrorist organization, started trying to dismantle them as a state organization. You know, all of those actions that the left was taking, utilizing the state and local governments against them. Yeah, turns out it didn't work out. SCOTUS didn't like it. Again, I would like to highlight 9-0 decision. That means Sotomayor, that means Kagan, and that means Ketanji Jackson Brown. Holy crap. How do you lose? That's how you lose. Let's continue. Man, I'm loving this, guys, because this has been coming for like 3 years. The decision means the NRA may continue to pursue its lawsuit against a New York official who urged banks and insurance companies to cut ties with the gun rights group following the 2018 mass shooting in Parkland. Quote, government officials cannot attempt to coerce private parties in order to punish or suppress views that the government disfavors, Justice Sonia Sotomayor, the most senior liberal, wrote for the court. For those in the back, Sotomayor is a lefty. That was an Obama appointee. Let me read her words again. Government officials cannot attempt to coerce private parties in order to punish or suppress views that the government disfavors. Do you understand how big of a deal this is? Because the tactics, now that federal has stalled to get all their gun control, they've moved to the state level. They've been utilizing the far left blue bastions to basically beat up on any gun rights groups or manufacturer or distributor because they wanted to. Okay, the leftist judge Sotomayor just said you can't do that anymore. In pretty strong language. This is amazing. I am here for it. All right, guys, 1,500 of you. I love to see it. Thank you so much. Let's continue. Oh, look, more quotes. Ultimately, the critical takeaway is that the First Amendment prohibits government officials from wielding their powers selectively to punish or suppress speech, Sotomayor said. So, one of the things that I love about our fight that we do every single day together, we try to gel and mesh all of our rights together in a presentation, because when you infringe on one of them, the only way you can really do it is by infringing on all of them, right? So they like to try to beat up the Second Amendment, i.e. New York in this case, but then they can't always get into the First Amendment or avoid the infringements on the First Amendment, right? So in order to accomplish their gun control and destroy the Second Amendment, they have to infringe upon the First Amendment. That's the way that these people think. They can't do one without the other. So as long as we get rid of guns, that's okay. First Amendment can get a little damaged, but as long as we get rid of that one. After all, NRA is the devil, right? All right, I got a few super chats over here. Let me jump over to them to make sure I don't ignore you guys, because that would be rude. You, sir, rock. Well, thank you, Timothy. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Again, someone over here saying 9-0 a lot lately with some cases against stupidity and blatant unconstitutional BS. That is correct. Now listen to the charge. This is what their whole claim was before the SCOTUS, and they nailed it. Sotomayor is the one who just wrote those things. The NRA claimed that Maria Vullo, let's go Vullo, the former superintendent of the New York State Department of Financial Services, not only leaned on insurance companies to part ways with the gun lobby, but threatened enforcement actions against those firms if they failed to comply. I can't imagine why that would be ruled 9-0 unconstitutional. A sitting government official leans on businesses that are not that organization to cut ties with that organization or be penalized in the financial sector. I mean, I'll be honest with you guys, I don't even know if the SCOTUS goes far enough. That might be criminal. I mean, I'm not any way affiliated with any type of law enforcement, but that doesn't sound right, does it? I mean, I'm just saying. We are going to keep going here, because as I work through this, I'm going to pick out a few of the points that are really important here. Vullo, this is the same person, no coincidence here by the way, who served in Democratic former Governor Andrew Cuomo's administration, said her enforcement targeted an insurance product that is illegal in New York. Third-party policies sold through the NRA that cover personal injury and criminal defense costs following the use of a firearm. Critics dubbed the policies murder insurance, which is completely stupid. But no tie together. It's only like Governor Andrew Cuomo's cabinet. I mean, no big deal, right? Good Lord, this is so insane. And here's a red flag, people. If you have ever seen leftist covering of a topic that is not favorable to them, this is how they do it. Check out this sentence. The decision will provide some clarity to government regulators, both liberal and conservative, about how far they may go to pressure private companies that do business with controversial advocacy groups. So here's the thing that they like to do. They like to go extreme far insanity overreach, and then when they get smacked, they go, well, now we know that liberals and conservatives can't do this. It's like, they weren't doing it. You were doing it. You got smoked, and now CNN's got to provide cover to say, oh, businesses are so bad. It is laughable, but we aren't letting them get away with it. Not on this channel. No, not sir, no sir. Oh, goodness gracious. Let's see. God, guys, this is so insane. This is so insane. So listen to this. When you have these two people pinning a concurrence, which means all on the same side, this is the thing. Conservative Justice Neil Gorsuch, who we love, and liberal Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, oh sorry, I said her name wrong earlier, pinned two separate concurrences in which they said they agreed with the court's decision. You have all the liberal judges and all the conservative judges coming together to back the NRA. How bad do you think it has to be for the leftist judges to do that? I mean, holy crap. It is so insane. Oh, okay, so apparently here's some words from Jackson, leftist judge, newest one, all right? The one who can't define what a woman is. Quote, whether and how government coercion of a third party might violate another party's First Amendment rights will depend on the facts of the case, she wrote. Different circumstances, who is being coerced to do what and why, may implicate different First Amendment injuries, which basically means, I don't want to go too hard on the lefties here, but they messed up. That's effectively what that means. Jeez, this is so insane. This is so awesome. And this is CNN kind of trying to reel and deal. So before I do that, though, I saw a few super chats I got to give some love to. Make sure I don't miss anybody, because that would be rude. Good morning from the Colorado Social Republic. If you don't know what I mean, look up the Italian Social Republic. So there you go. Yeah, they asked you to do that, guys. And talking about, I assume, the red flags, 4th, 5th, 8th, 14th Amendment through red flag laws. Yep, they infringed one. They infringed them all. Thank you for all your hard work. No, guys, thank you all for watching. This is like why we do this. This is how we fight. Okay, and then I'm going to tie all of this together in a second. While the NRA, excuse me, while the NRA is more likely to be at the Supreme Court making Second Amendment arguments, it picked up unfamiliar allies with this First Amendment claim. The American Civil Liberties Union, which usually sits opposite the NRA in the debate over guns, agreed to represent the group before the Supreme Court. So, this is exactly what we talked about when this partnership, or this unlikely bedfellows situation, came forward. We covered the NRA and the American Civil Liberties Union, or the ACLU, working together. This is the outcome of that video. This is why we cover every single thing, because we can always have backstory to fall back on. That's the culmination of that story right here. You are looking at a 9-0 unanimous decision for the NRA, even from the liberal judges against New York, for coercion of third parties against the NRA. How long until you think Letitia James gets a little heat on something like this? And this is the last part I'm going to pull from the article, because this is a really big deal. The NRA largely relied on a 1963 Supreme Court decision, Bantam Books v. Sullivan, that dealt with the Rhode Island Commission that had threatened to refer distributors to police if they sold books deemed to be obscene. The Supreme Court held that such, quote, informal censorship was unconstitutional. And I want to set up camp on that for a second, because, you know what, I'm going to go up here, the title again, because that's just a pretty title to look at. This is the thing. Informal censorship. There we go. Informal censorship is still censorship. So even though you say the NRA can't be blocked in our state from doing something, that doesn't mean we can't lean on third-party financiers and everyone involved in the adjacent industry to pressure them out by not doing business with them. And if they do business with them, we're going to penalize them. Informal censorship. Now, this is the part where it all ties together. On the left, they do this thing where they utilize the forces of government at a local level because they have complete unanimity in the New York legislatures, the California legislatures, those types of places. What you're looking at right now is the dissolving of that power structure, because now they cannot continue to do it. Remember that analogy we always use where they always are kicking open doors and we're always kind of running around slamming them shut with 2x4s and nails? Be like, nope, can't do that one anymore. Once they burn a door, they can't open anymore. That's the reason they're so hesitant to do assault weapon bans too hard, because if they do and they get it shut down, there goes like 50% of the gun control platform, because they can't do it legally, right? That's a very important piece. With this right here, you are looking at something that is massive, particularly in blue states. And of course, the way you know it's a big deal is because CNN goes, well, now liberal and conservative governments can't do it. Okay, yeah, because that's the problem with the case. Oh my goodness, this is so exciting. I love to see it so much. And now I'm going to tie it in all towards the end goal of what we're trying to push forward here. We are going to pass the blessings of the Second Amendment along to the next generation. You're fighting, I'm fighting, we're all fighting together. It may take time, but eventually their antics will end up just like this across the board. It only requires time. If you look at all the things that we've seen recently, you've got the ghost gun regulation that's going up to the Supreme Court. You've got bump stocks. You've got Chevron deference. You've got the pistol brace that's been enjoined. You've got the bump stock ban that has been heard. You've got all of these different things that are coming to light in the last 3.5 years that has never been done before. And that's because you guys are fighting. You're supporting groups and you're paying attention. That is it. This stuff right here, I'm telling you, just undermine them across the board at state levels for a very long time, because now they can't do this tactic and they're left to doing Letitia James style hit pieces and lawsuits, which again will eventually be in the exact same position. This is extremely exciting. I'm going to jump over to the chats real quick just to make sure you guys get some love. Let's see here. So what was the major victory, some guy says? Effectively, the Supreme Court just said that the NRA cannot be targeted by the New York state government, and the third parties can be penalized if they do business with the NRA because they were trying to push them out of New York. That's exactly what we're dealing with here. So this is really awesome. Good news, we defeated red flag laws here again, 10th year in a row. This was the this was the closet they came to coming out of the closet. Alaska's purple. Yeah, that's because it's Anchorage. But yeah, guys, overall, this is awesome. Now, Fred Sanders says something here, NRA is back. I'm not going to go that far yet, Fred. They've got a long road to go. They technically did not make the ruling. They did bring the lawsuit because they were directly targeted. But it is a step in the right direction. They could easily use this as a marketing boon to say, look, we've changed. We've got new leadership. Look, we're not that anymore. We're not Wayne. And then potentially turn that boat around. I'm not giving it to them yet, but this is a good step in that direction. That's a good point. All right, let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. South Florida here, say it louder, unanimous. That is correct, and that's the piece, guys. You got lefties on board. You got righties on board. You got even the squishy John Roberts on board. And he's real squishy. I mean, goodness gracious. You know what? For anyone coming in later, I'm going to read one more thing for you really quickly from Sotomayor. If this does not tell you what you need to know, government officials cannot attempt to coerce private parties in order to punish or suppress views that the government disfavors. Justice Sonia Sotomayor, the most senior liberal, wrote for the court. Quote, unfortunately, the critical takeaway is that the First Amendment prohibits government officials from wielding their powers selectively to punish or suppress speech. That is delicious. And the final little puff piece I'm going to put out for CNN, because they had to do it, so I got to make fun of them. The decision will provide some clarity to government regulators, both liberal and conservative, about how far they can go to pressure private companies to do business with controversial advocacy groups, because conservatives were obviously doing it, except they weren't. It was all lefties, but CNN's got to give some cover, and that is what we've got for you guys. Make sure you send this one out, share this victory, make sure you have your chin up about this one, because this is a blow to those lefties. Nightmare fuel issued. I hope you guys enjoyed so much. Thank you so much for tuning in for this live stream, the super chats, all the comments. Send it out, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.